Hello everyone, how are you guys doing? Welcome back to another episode of a Dark Reaction. This is our live. My name is Matt. Back at it again, Dark. Episode 5 I think we're doing. Because previous episode was for The Travelers, right? Yeah, right. So let's do a quick recap of that episode. I don't have that much time, by the way. I feel like this last few episodes I just haven't had that much time, so I need to go through this intros as quick as I can. Even though sometimes they still are 20 minutes long, but whatever the case, I think previous episode. So obviously we have the end of episode stinger, which is Adam says that he is Jonas to Jonas, young Jonas, and then I had like a whole brainstorm thing at the end of that episode during the review because it's like there's a lot of questions I have, and I'm pretty sure people are still gonna come at me for like putting my thoughts out there because it's like here's the thing is that I don't have all the information that is being provided to me, so I don't know. I literally don't know where anything is going. And people are trying to correct me in sending me through a specific path, if that makes any sense. And I'm because they think that I'm diverging or that I'm going somewhere that it's not gonna become real, and I'm like, I know that. Like I'm literally just drawing shit, and then I'm waiting for the show to tell me which one is correct, essentially. So I know that what I'm saying is like 80%. That's really funny. I just thought about it. Is that like there is a small portion of people that complain that I get stuff correct, and then there's another portion of people that love to correct me on things that are wrong. And it's like, can we not find like a nice common middle ground? Though like that is just like the people that actually talk, because like these videos do get like a they do get likes and people like watch them. So I'm pretty sure that are people that just watch and enjoy that. So I'm because like oh god, dude, I got super sidetracked. Never mind that. I was about to go into a completely different branch talking about some other shit, and then I stopped myself before I did that. Adam is Jonas. Jonas is Adam. I also said that this means that future Jonas, the one that is in 2020 right now, knows about Adam being himself. And I also said that like, wouldn't the solution would be to him to literally kill himself? And I'm not sure if that would be it because like I'm not sure if he's opposing Adam, which is himself, or is he's acting based on what anyone says or believes or whatever. Like I need more context. I need more context. But besides that, so Claudia 87 went back to 87 after having a taste of 2020. She knows that her dad is going to die in like 2 days, something like that. Egon is gonna die in like 2 days from in 87. Um, she knows that Regina gets cancer. Okay. Uh, she knows that she has to go because she read that she went missing, so therefore she has to go to the future and never come back. Uh, what was the other thing? Yeah, so we had a lot of scenes that were really cool scenes with future Jonas, older Jonas, Hannah, Charlotte, Peter, and then Katharina. Because Hannah felt like she needed to tell someone about Jonas just coming back but being older. And she told Charlotte, I assume because they are somewhat friends, somewhere close. And yeah. And then Charlotte, since she's the one that has been investigating this whole thing, immediately goes to Jonas and goes like, "Okay, what do you know?" And Jonas just tells her, and Hannah's like, "Wait, what's happening here?" And then they bring Hannah to the whole, to like the basement place, which is where Charlotte and Peter have been hanging out, and they've been putting stuff on the walls, just like a conspiracy theory wall, just like all of the information, all of the pictures, all of the newspapers, everything that you need, and just trying to figure out how this shit works, essentially. So they've been investigating as hard as they've been investigating ever. Um, So then older Jonas and Hannah join in, and Hannah, upon seeing this, goes, "Did you tell Katharina? Because you should." Which is a weird thing because it's like, is Hannah caring for someone else? Like that is something that I didn't. That is something that I didn't ask previous review, because it's like, I'm not sure if she actually gives a shit, because Hannah is like a full on sociopath, but simultaneously she might have cared to some degree at that point. But whatever, because she poses the idea of telling Katharina, because Katharina is kind of literally going crazy over the fact that Mikkel went missing and then Ulrich went missing. So, she's been trying to create maps of the caves, she's been trying to investigate everything she can, and she's been actually going crazy over it. And Martha and Magnus can see it. Bam. Martha and Magnus and Franziska and Elizabeth, the loser gang, went to the caves and they found Bartosz. They beat the shit out of him. They tied him up. They left him there and they took his time machine. Alright, moving on. Charlotte told Katharina, and Katharina went, "Are you fucking with me? No, like, this is a joke. I'm gone." And she left. But then she went to the school. She's the principal. Then she looked at the records and she saw that Mikkel was there in 86, 87. Which prompted her to just fucking explode and cry and just whatever. That's all we saw. She just fell to her knees and started crying. Younger Jonas is in 1921. I think it was 21, yeah. The Sigmundus cult is there. It's happening. Noah's there. Noah's also there. Oh, by the way, I want to say, I don't think I realized this while watching the episode. I mean, I realized that there was something, but I didn't actually fully connect the dots. And it's Agnes. They asked. What am I trying to? Okay, so during the episode, I saw a little girl named Agnes, and I was like, Agnes, that was someone. I just don't remember who. And that was Agnes Nielsen, which is Tronte's mom. So Agnes Nielsen, that is also been established that she is Noah's sister. So we saw her, and then we saw younger Noah, and they're both from their times. After that, then someone also pointed out in the comments that it's like, Agnes, who is Noah's sister, she's Tronte's mom, so she's Ulrich's grandma, so she is Mikkel's great grandma, so she is Jonah's great 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 grandma. I'm not sure how many I counted, doesn't matter. Honestly, fuck family trees and all that shit. Which means that Jonas is like super indirectly related to Noah in a way. Like, that is connected. Well, that is kind of the motto of the show, isn't it? But yeah, Jonas is a descendant from Noah in a way. Like, Noah's like his great 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 uncle or some shit, right? So there we go. Weird convoluted connection. I'm not sure if that means anything. Like, to me, like, I didn't fully realize that, but simultaneously I kind of don't care. Because unless there's like a bloodline factor to the show, like a KK Genkai, I don't think that matters. Like, family ties really don't matter unless they do. And so far they haven't mattered that much. Though, like, okay, so the theme of family has been strong in the show. So from a thematic point of view, it is kind of fitting, but it hasn't come into play very hard in the sense of like anything special over the fact that somebody is related to someone else. Like, that hasn't come into play yet. Very hard, like a little bit with the Cornwall Nielsen kind of thing, but other than that, not very well. Didn't I theorize that Noah was Charlotte's dad? That would connect 3 families of all of them. That would just straight up connect 3 families together by Noah. Then the 4th family would be the Tideman family, wouldn't it? Yeah. Okay. I don't have all the information for this, so I'm not gonna go too hard on that. Like I said, I don't have a lot of time. I have like an hour 10 minutes to record, and I haven't watched the episode yet. So fuck it. Let's just go. So if I missed something, then I'm sorry, but fuck it. So Dark season 2 episode 5. Let's go. Adam is using me. I'm not gonna be his puppet anymore. All right. Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing? Uh, okay. A hard cut must have happened in the video. I don't know how it's gonna look at the end, and I'm not sure if I've already given you an explanation, but I'll figure that out in the editing. Fuck, I have to put work into the editing now, more than usual. But power outage happened, so that's fun. I'm not sure if I said it, but power outages are just gonna start happening now, and that's fucking sucks. That means now we have to redo the review. I did it for like 10 minutes and then everything just fell apart. So I'm gonna have to redo that because I don't remember what the fuck I just said. I don't remember what I said a couple hours ago when I did the review. It's like 8 p.m. right now, so it's been like 7 hours since I recorded this, like 7 8 hours. Which means I also forgot what the fuck happened in the episode. It's not fresh on my mind. So I opened Netflix right here, and I'm just like, I'm checking out what actually happened in the episode, so I know what to talk about. I'm not sure what I have already talked about, but I'll figure all this shit out in the editing. I hate this. I hate this so much. That is extra work for me, and I already put enough work on myself this week because I'm a dumbass. But all right, so Jonas and older Jonas. Older Jonas's plan was to send younger Jonas into the Higgs boson, what particle, black hole, dark matter thing, whatever. Uh, oh yeah, we did have that montage with the music that we always get like every episode. We saw Ines putting drugs into Mikkels's like cup for some reason, and I mean those are for sleeping, weren't they? But like, what is the point? Is she trying to sedate him so he just doesn't ask a lot? Like, I don't know what that is about. Wait, what is this scene? Oh, it's Charlotte after she met Noah. We have older Ulrich just probably sedated, definitely restrained into the bed. The loser gang time travel and then they freak the fuck out. Egon was threatened to death by Ulrich again. I guess I can talk about that. Because like, so here's the thing about older Ulrich is that and somebody said in the comment, like the last episode that went up on YouTube was that because I did talk a lot about like, come on Ulrich, don't, why are you like this? Like, don't kill this man or try to strangle Egon or whatever. People were like, no, this makes sense. Like he's crazy, he's gone through a lot and like whatever. And I'm like, I understand that. I'm still gonna give him shit for doing so though. Like that doesn't change it. But somebody said something that I hadn't thought about that makes a lot of sense in retrospect, which was Ulrich is still a rebel because he was always a rebel. Like that was always kind of this whole deal. When he was a teenager in the 80s, he was a rebel. He was like the bad boy, and like he wore leather jackets. He played video games. He listened to death metal. You know, all that stuff, right? Playing video games, you're a rebel. But you know that's kind of the type of person he was, right? The type of character. Then we see him in 2019, and he's still kind of a rebel. He still is. Like when all this shit with his son happened, he's just like, no, I'm gonna fucking figure this shit out. I don't care. He like sneaks into the nuclear facility, like they're threatening him with automatic rifles. He doesn't care. He continues to do whatever the fuck he wants because like that's what his character is. He doesn't care about the consequences. He's just gonna do shit because that he wants to. That he's a rebel at heart, and that he always has been. So somebody told me that and said like, as an older man in the 80s again,
the older version of Ulrich, he's still somewhat of a rebel at heart. So of course he's gonna freak out and strangle this fucking Egon Tideman because it's like, yeah, like Ulrich would do that, and I'm like, you know what? That's fair, because like they said, like I like that there's still that essence of a rebel in Ulrich's heart, even then, even as the oldest version of him, like it's still Ulrich, and I'm like, you know what? That's fair. That's actually very fair. I don't think I got the rebel part nailed down like very hard, but it is there, so I should acknowledge that. That was pretty good. So in this episode, we got to see even more of that, because yeah, it actually is good that somebody said that before this episode, because in this episode we got to see old Ulrich escape. He's just escaped the mental facility. He knocked out a guard with like a, I don't know, like a, not a base, but like some ceramic thing. He just got it and he knocked one of the guards out with it, out cold. Stole his ID in order to get past the security thing, and did. He just went up to the door and just walked away. So he just escaped, right? So of course the whole everyone just goes up on alert. Um, God damn it! Like Egon actually fucked everyone here. Egon fucked everyone. But like the thing is that okay, so Ulrich escapes because he wants to see Mikkel. Because now he got confirmation that Mikkel is here. He exists. He knows who it is, right? So he goes to meet Mikkel, and he does. He successfully does. He meets Mikkel, and Mikkel recognizes him. Like they actually get a full, really nice moment. Like they drink like orange juice together. Mikkel's just hanging out, just doing his own thing. He's a very quiet kid. So then, like Ulrich like puts the cup upside down and goes like, the question is not how, but when. You know, that's what you told me, and that's when Mikkel realized to get a nice hug. He calls him dad, and it's like, oh, he knows. Like at least he knows, and it's this whole thing. It's pretty nice. So that happens. Then, of course, they disappear, and Ines gets home because the other fucking nurse tells Ines like, oh, they said that a man escaped from the psychiatric ward or like the mental place or whatever. They said he killed a couple kids in 53. So everyone's on alert. And Ines immediately goes back home because like, holy shit, my kid, right? She gets home, Mikkel isn't there. Of course, she just calls Egon because she knows Egon. Egon was in her house like a couple days ago. So she's like, you gotta help me. Uh, Egon immediately connects the dots because, of course, he connects all the dots because he's the one that gave the pickle of Mikkel, the picture of Mikkel to Ulrich. So he was like, okay, and then he's like, I think I know where he's going, which is where he meant to go all those years ago, which was the cave. So they go to the cave, and Mikkel is like, okay, so Mikkel Ulrich are just getting there, just barely. They're running to get there. And again, they get stopped right in front of the cave. And Egon is there, and Ines is there, and all the police are there. And Ulrich is taken away. He's just screaming. He's like, Egon, you son of a bitch. You did this to me again. It's all your fault. Next time I'm gonna fucking kill you. Which is, at this point, it's like, you know what? This one is fair. This one is also a lot fair. So we had that, and like, here's the thing about Mikkel. Is that Mikkel is like unbelievably quiet. And he's not saying anything. Like, even then, Ulrich is just screaming like, that's my son, but Mikkel isn't saying anything. Here's the thing. We see Ines literally putting like the pill, like the fucking chemical of the pill, like the dust, in her Mikkel's cup and just giving that to him every day. So, I'm not sure what the exposure to like sleeping pills like on a regular basis every day would do to a person. But there's a reason for it. And it's like, is Ines trying to like get the perfect household idea, like the perfect illusion of being a mom? So she actually doesn't care about Mikkel. She only cares about, oh, I'm gonna take care of my son. But she doesn't care about her son. She just cares about the role that she's playing here, being a mom, essentially. Is that her fantasy? Is this what's happening? Because something is happening. It just hasn't been entirely explained to me yet why, or how, or what is the purpose, or what is the reason, or what is the goal. But something is happening. I'm seeing it happen. I just don't know why. Or I just don't know what are the repercussions of it. And I'm just thinking that the reason why Miguel is so quiet, it might be because of that. Because, like, was he quiet back then? He was sort of quiet back then in season 1. But, like, I mean, the thing is that we spent, like, 1 episode with Miguel in the real world. Then we spend time with Mikkel in 86, where of course he's quiet because he's in 86. Like, his entire world has changed. He doesn't know anyone. And the situation he's in is even, it's like more fucked up than what anyone should be in, right? So of course he's gonna be quiet. So it's difficult to tell if he's actually just quiet as a person, or if he's being drugged into being like super docile. So I'm not entirely sure what that is about. But then, of course, Ulrich gets taken away. He gets locked up in the mental facility, completely restrained, properly sedated. That sucks. And on the way to the facility, he sees the loser crew, which consists of Franziska, Elizabeth, Bartosz, Martha, and Magnus. He sees them and he's like, those are my kids! Those are my kids! Please stop! Stop! Those are my kids! And just screams their names, and they cannot hear him. And of course the cops are not gonna give a shit. So, that's fucked. That's fucked. So that happened. That's bad. Like, Ulrich has it bad. Ulrich has it pretty bad so far. So yeah, the loser crew went back in time to 87. They initially don't believe it, but then they do. So I guess they know time travel is real for sure now. Okay, so Claudia gave the sample of the God particle, the Higgs boson, the dark matter, whatever the fuck you want to call that thing. The black goo. She gave the black goo sample to this one dude and said, analyze this for me and keep it quiet. Don't tell anyone. And she was like, if I think this is what I think it is, it's going to change the way we see the world. It's going to change everything. And it's like, Claudia, this might be a good thing what you're doing. What the fuck did I just say? This might be a bad thing what you're doing. Not good, bad. Because the thing is that okay, so if somebody invents a time machine in front of you, you destroy the time machine and kill the guy that made the time machine. Because humanity cannot be allowed to have the technology for a time machine. Because then this entire show happens, essentially. The same goes for this God particle thing. The particle that is the formula from which all mass is created. Is that what not the definition is? I might be wrong. I'm not a physicist. So is it even physics, or is it theoretical physics at this point? Well, at this point I guess it's just physics within the universe of the show. Whatever the point, whatever the case, when you find the fact that humanity can get this amount of power, you fucking stop that shit from happening. You need to stop that shit from happening, because only bad things can happen as a result. And they have. Okay? They have. That's the thing with this fucking thing, this entire show, is that this is what happens if you don't stop it. Right? So Claudia given that dude the sample And like, here's the thing: it's like, okay, so I'm not sure who was Claudia talking to, but I was thinking while watching this episode that it was Helge's dad. Helge's dad was the dude that made the nuclear plant, the nuclear facility. So he could still be alive because he wasn't that old in 53. He was an adult, but he wasn't old. And in this case, it is an old man who Claudia's talking to, so I'm sure it's Helge's dad. And he was like, "Listen, Claudia, sometimes it's better to let sleeping dogs like lie. Like, that's it. We don't need to keep going here. Like, we could just ignore that happened and just be done with it. Never talk about it again." But Claudia couldn't leave it rest, right? So she is going to investigate that whole thing. And I disagree with that. Like, that's okay. So I'm gonna bring back Steins Gate again, because I'm pretty sure I mentioned Steins Gate before. It's a show, and here's the thing: is that Steins Gate fundamentally like made me think a lot about this time travel shenanigans, because in that show, the main character just invents the technology for time machine, for time travel. It is an unbelievably basic version of time travel, which only allows for smallest amount of data to transfer back in time to a specific like point or whatever. And they do that like the way that they make that work is that they send like text messages back in time, which is a very small amount of data. There's only very small amounts of characters that you can send back in time. Whatever the point. So spoilers for Steins Gate, I guess. They get raided by soldiers from CERN. CERN, the physics organization. They get raided by fucking assassins sent from CERN, and they all get fucking murdered. And the reason why is because like CERN in the future, because there was also a time traveler in that show, like a proper time traveler that comes from the future, and they reveal that in the future CERN takes over the world essentially. And the reason why they do that is because they managed to get their hands on the technology for time travel, and then they just change time in order to alter it so they become massive. But the reason they got that is because they found out that this dude has the technology for time travel. So they just fucking went in there, they took it, and they murder him, and they murder everybody. Or like, that was the idea, right? So that's what should happen, essentially. If, like, of course, it depends on the rules of the universe and all that, yada yada. But it's like, if you have the technology for time travel, you kill the technology for time travel right away. You don't risk it. You don't try to take control over it. You kill it. Time travel cannot be allowed to exist in a world where we exist. Or ever, essentially. As dope as time travel is, it is one of those things where it's like, this is bad, and we can't allow this to keep happening, and we need to stop. It's kind of a thing. Yeah, that was kind of what Doc Brown realized in like Back to the Future 2, when he was like, Marty, no, time travel is bad. Like, we're too many bad things are happening as a result of our meddling with time. We need to stop it. We need to actually stop it. So that's how you should approach time travel every time. And here's the thing. Claudia knows about time travel. She has literally time traveled herself. She has met herself, and she knows how it happens, and she knows what this particle is. Therefore, you need to stop it. But I guess she got clear instructions from older Claudia not to do, like, that's the thing, is that I don't know what older Claudia told younger Claudia to do, if she told her anything. I'm not sure if she did. So it's like, I'm not sure what Claudia is doing here. It might just be she being curious. She wanted to find out the truth, but we kind of need to let that one die. I am entirely against leaving that information for like the fucking God particle to exist. That one needs to go away. That one needs to go. Okay. Okay. So I'm going through like the entire episode. So we got Jonas, and I like that the entire episode we had Jonas and Jonas interacting with each other. So we have the young Jonas and Adam just like interacting with each other. The entire episode they just did that. Every time we cut to them, that's what they were doing. They were just talking. So okay, I like this scene a lot where Claudia goes to Egon and she's like, I just wanted to see how you were doing. And then she's like, you should move with us. Like, you should actually move with us. Tomorrow would be good. And Egon is like, you act like as if I'm already on my deathbed. And it's like, yeah, you kinda are. You kinda are. Like, that's it. It's that Egon is. Because Claudia took that fucking print she got from the future of the newspaper article saying he was found dead on June 26th, is it? And I think this is 25, yeah. So next episode, if episodes go at a rate of a day an episode, which I believe they are, next episode should be Egon dying. But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Is that the newspaper articles did say Egon Tideman found dead for reasons unknown. Which is like, what? Who says that? Like, the reporting should actually say how he died, right? Unless he actually like collapsed, and then they couldn't find out why. But it's like, I'm pretty sure that they should say that, but I'm thinking it's plot convenient and they don't, right? It's plot convenient that they don't. So now I'm wondering, how does he die? Because here's the thing: is that Egon doesn't look bad right now. He doesn't look like he's dying right now. Of course, the human body is just whatever. It's just a machine. It can just fail anytime. Like, you can just have a heart attack. Boom, you're dead. Just immediately. That's the thing. Or he could die literally any other way, because the newspaper said reasons unknown, which makes me think like they couldn't figure it out, or like the reporting was under like weird circumstances, or like his body was not whatever. So I'm just thinking like he might die during the moving, like here, because like that's how these stories work every time. I've said it multiple times. These time travel stories work in the sense that you are trying to stop something from happening. Whoops, you caused it to happen, right? Claudia is trying for Egon to not die, which I assume that's what she's doing. Otherwise, I'm not sure why she would say, hey, come to our house tomorrow, stay there. So, if she's trying for him to stop, to not die, she is probably gonna cause it instead. Moving is a strenuous, stressing job. For this old man might have this thing of like he is going to like carry things heavily or whatever, and then he's gonna die. He's gonna get a heart attack or whatever, or he's just gonna get run over. Some accident is going to happen as the moving happens, right? That could be a thing. Or I just thought of something else, which is it's neatly foreshadowed in this episode. Maybe is that Ulrich did literally say, "Next time I see you, I'm gonna fucking kill you." Ulrich literally told that to Egon. So it could be that Ulrich literally murders Egon for whatever reason, right? That could be a thing. Like, I can even see it as if, like, Egon went to the mental facility and said, listen, I'm sorry, but I need to know. Is that your son or whatever? Like, people are slow in the show, but it's like, it's fair. And then Ulrich immediately just kills him. Like, even if he's trying to help him, just kills him. Because it already has happened. That's the thing. It's that I said this like 2 episodes ago when Ulrich strangled Egon. I was like, dude, he's trying to help you. Like, he actually helped. Nobody has been more helpful to you than Egon Tideman for like 50 years. Like, nobody. The dude just like gave you the information you wanted to know. And he actually took the time to listen to you. and believe you to some degree. Maybe. So it's like, even if Egon went to help Ulrich right now, in some way, Ulrich would probably just fucking murder him right there. That could be a thing. So that would suck. Okay, we need to talk about this dude. The investigator dude. Okay, here's the thing about the investigator dude. I don't know his name. He's a new character introduced this season. I don't know his name. I haven't spent a full season trying to learn his name or whatever. I'm just gonna call him the investigator dude. You guys know who I'm talking about. The investigator dude, he's been investigating. He has a hard on for investigation. Every episode he's been investigating something. And he's going real hard at it. He's a very serious individual. He is a very good at his job as well. And the thing is that he interviews every person in this fucking town. And he says, he realizes, he says it, everybody in this town is hiding something. And I'm not sure if they're hiding all the same thing or all their own different things. But everybody is hiding shit, nobody wants to talk about it, and everyone is lying at all times. What the fuck is happening here? And it's like, that is true. Like, that is true. Everyone in the show is fucked up. This entire town is fucked up. So it's like, okay. Investigator dude, so he was asking Hannah things today. She saw her with Katharina. Hannah and Katharina had like a small moment where Katharina was like, I can't believe you fucked my husband and my son. Like, you're like a parasite. Like, you took everything away from me. What the fuck? And it's like, that's true. That's true and that's fair. Like, it's fucked up what Hannah did. Like, literally everything Hannah has ever done is fucked up. Yeah, Ulrich meeting Miko, I already talked about that. Charlotte meeting Noah. I think I talked about that one during the first review, but I'm not sure if that's gonna be in here. But so Charlotte meets Noah, and Noah reveals that he is in fact Charlotte's dad. That one you can see coming. It's actually heavily implied, so that's it's not very impactful. But he does reveal a couple things to us. He reveals that Charlotte was missing from him. Like, he actually didn't know where Charlotte was or who she was until he finds out that this is Charlotte. This is his daughter. Then he says that Adam knew all along. He just didn't tell him. Then he also confirms that he's going rogue against Adam. And he's gonna try to stop whatever the fuck Adam is doing or whatever. Because he wants to stop the apocalypse from happening and save her. It seems like that's what Noah is about right now. He also, I believe, mentions the fact that the mom, Charlotte's mom, was also taken away from him in some way. And it is also said that the mom was taking the photo. So I thought she died on birth, but it's like, no, she didn't. She was still alive after they had the daughter, Charlotte. And she was taking the photo that you see of Noah and her. Then Charlotte asks, okay, I could be misremembering. I could be literally creating scenes that didn't happen to begin with. So I'm gonna look this up. Yeah, Charlotte literally asks Noah, who is my mom? And Noah, like the son of a bitch he is, doesn't tell us. He said she loved you very much. She still does. That might be a hit on it itself. But like, okay, the fact that they are not telling me who Charlotte's mom is, she could be a random person. But I believe she's not. I believe she's someone we know. But who though? Yeah, no idea. So we're just gonna wait on that review, I guess. Noah does drop the hint when he says she loved you very much. She still does. The fact that he says she still does. The fact that he says she still does love you is like, that implies that she is alive. here's the thing: is that the concept of time is entirely relative in the show. So saying that someone still loves you, it's like, to what time frame are you referring to? Right now, 2020? Is someone in 2020 Charlotte's mom? Is someone not in 2020 somebody in 80 something that might still be alive in 2020? Is it someone that is just dead by 2020, but Noah still thinks of that person as still being alive because it is like he can still just go and talk to them if he wants to? Like, that is a mystery that I feel like we're just gonna have to wait and see where it goes. Um, Everybody hates Bartosz. That's the thing. Okay, so I guess the most interesting things we need to talk about this episode. I mean, things happened this episode. Let's not pretend that they didn't. But it's like, oh yeah, we did have a moment with older Jonas and Hannah, where older Jonas is like, "Did you ever love Dad?" And Hannah's like, "Nope." Well, she didn't say no, but she didn't have to. And Jonas is like, "You're fucked up, Hannah." And it's like, "Yep." Moving on. He did leave the necklace with the coin thing to Martha. Here's the thing with the necklace with the coin is that I believe the necklace with the coin has, we've seen it multiple times. We've seen it around. Maybe there is even two of them. I think there's one that goes through the coin. This one isn't. But at this point, I don't know. I'm confused. I haven't been keeping track of the fucking necklace with the coin because that one kind of doesn't matter. That one kind of doesn't matter. I believe Hillary had it. Other than that, I don't remember who the fuck had it. Ulrich had it, and he gave it to Helga himself. That one I remember. But it's like, that one kind of doesn't matter. So I'm not keeping track of it. But then it's going to matter at some point. But I'm not going to remember. So that's my take on the necklace with the coin, is that I know it's a thing. I just don't know what the point of it is. And I'm not going to remember. But I guess the main thing about this episode that we saw is our Jonas, like younger Jonas, and Adam interacting or doing shit. So Adam has created its own like dark matter orb thing that Jonas used in the future to go back to 20 something. He says, "This one here we produce ourselves. It is the end of a technological evolution, and it will be the end of the knot. This right here will take you to the exact day that you want to travel to." I'm not sure how that works, but sure, that sounds awesome. So you can just travel wherever you want. Then it's like, okay, we need to stop things from happening at the beginning. Where is the beginning? And then younger Jonas says it has to be, was it 20? Yeah, how do we stop it and what sacrifices will we make? And I think younger Jonas says, yeah, June 20th, 2019. So June 20th is the day before Michael committed suicide. Because everything just kind of went to shit after that. At least from Jonas's point of view. Here's the thing, is that after they say that, Adam says, like, okay, so what's going to happen is that Mikkel is not going to travel back in time. He's not going to become Mike and Cornwall. You are going to cease to exist. Essentially. But if you cease to exist, it's like you're going to die, but everyone else is going to live, right? Here's the thing, though. Follow me on this one. Set this previous episode as well. Didn't Adam make the tunnels? Didn't Adam chisel them? Like, if Adam did that, then what the fuck is the point? like the existence of Adam. Here's the thing: is that there are a lot of things that I'm confused about here. Um, because Adam is still, by all sense and purposes, still a mysterious character that I don't have a lot of answers about yet. Because I am thinking, was not Adam the guy who made the tunnels? Like they chiseled the tunnels at Adam's request, right? If they do that, they create the place from which people can time travel, right? If that happens, like, wouldn't you just be able to stop it all from happening in the first place by not having the tunnels? AKA, kill yourself, Jonas. Because if Jonas dies, then Adam doesn't exist. And if Adam doesn't exist, and the tunnels don't happen, therefore Mikkel does not travel back in time. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. And this is something that still hasn't been explained to us. So, this can be a workaround it. That logic is that Mikkel did not travel through the tunnels because we don't see Mikkel travel. We only see Mikkel disappear, and then we see him walk out of the caves in 86. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. So we don't see Mikkel like being dragged through the tunnels or whatever, right? So what you want to do, okay, that mystery needs to be solved first, right? It needs to be solved how Mikkel traveled back there and how we stop that, essentially. That's the one thing we need to do. There's gonna be two younger Jonas, aren't there? Here's the thing, it's that like Jonas seems like he's gonna go back to the first season. He's gonna go back to when Michael Conwell committed suicide, and he's probably gonna have to interact with himself in some way. I'm so confused. I'm always confused because like this show seems to be like 100 steps in front of me. Because there is a really long con going. There's multiple really long cons going. And I'm just like, I have no clue what the fuck is happening. Like, because I'm thinking about it, and then I think about it, and then I keep thinking about it, and there's like 11 layers. And after like layer 10, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what was I thinking about? Because like it's too much. My brain cannot retain what the fuck all of this is supposed to be. Because it's like, yeah, I'm just like, whoa, mind blown every time that I try to actually get ahead. Um, so yeah, like, okay, let's go back to the main point that I was making is that if we don't know how Mikkel travels back, because like it could be just some shit of like a portal open and Mikkel walked into it. For some reason that happened. Let's just say that for some reason that happened. So if that happened, it's like, okay, killing yourself wouldn't solve it because Mikkel didn't use the tunnels. That's it. But if he did use the tunnels, the solution would just be to kill yourself right now. Because the existence of Adam and the Sigmundus cult is what made this happen, essentially. Here's the thing. Okay, I do like. I'm thinking back to like the conversations they had where Adam said like, okay, Jonas asked him if this is a religion, and he said this is not a religion. This is like the opposite, because fuck God, because God does not. God is just like the thing that everyone holds to the idea of God. God is just like a physics law, essentially. Time is God, you know? It's something that doesn't give a shit. It's just something that happens, exists, and it's always out there. But it's not something that's gonna listen to you and do what you want it to do. It's just gonna happen. Because that's the law. That's the way it works, essentially. So that's what he believes. And what he wants to do is to kill time. He wants to destroy time. He wants to destroy God. Here's the thing. The plot lines of characters trying to destroy God or destroy time usually don't go well in any piece of media. Ever. Because, like, you can't have a. How do you live without a concept of time? And how do you destroy it? The answer is you can't. It's just something that happens. It's out there, you know? But, like, maybe I'm taking that too literal. Like, maybe I'm taking that too literal. Maybe I'm not taking it literal enough. But I don't know. This is just a lot of, like, vague shit that I don't know what it means. And then I'll just have to wait and see. Yeah, Adam's crying. I remember thinking that, and I'm pretty sure I said it. Adam's crying as he walks into the orb. So what that means to me is... What that means to me is that Adam probably lied in a lot of the things that he said, especially near the end. Because... So he cried as younger Jonas went through the orb. Right? And he told them, like, the way this one works is that it goes wherever you want it to go or whatever. And that could still be the case. But the fact that he's crying as he walks into it, I'm thinking, like, no, actually. Like, I'm pretty sure he just fucked them. And he's crying for him because that's him. That's himself. And he remembers that happening, and he's like, man, that was fucked up. But him going through that process means that he becomes Adam. So wherever Jonas just went, or he could even have gone to whenever Mike and Conwell dies. Like, let's say that actually happens. But maybe he's crying for what he's going to have to face now. Whatever hardship is going to come now. Whether that was true, whether that was a lie, whether that's 2019 or it's the future or it's the mega past. I don't know where the fuck Jonas went. Nobody knows. But he's crying for him. He's crying for himself because he remembers it. So that to me indicates that Jonas, whatever the fuck Jonas is going to have to go through right now, it's going to be bad. It's going to be pretty bad. Here's the other thing. Older Jonas has a lot of scars on, like, his back and all that stuff. And I thought about initially that it was because he's in the future and the future is fucked up and a lot of fucked up things happen and he gets damaged for being in the future. He only stayed in the future for a couple months. And I'm not sure if that is enough to get all of those scars. He did get the pretty nice color scar. But other than that, I'm not sure if he got all of the back scars. Because I even thought that was from, like, crawling into, like, the nuclear facility with the metal pipes thing, or, like, that were sticking out of the wall. I said that. But we're not in the future anymore. So I'm like, he's getting all of these scars, but where do they come from? So I'm thinking that whatever this younger version of Jonas is going to go through is going to be pretty bad, because Adam was crying for him. I assume crying for him. I don't see other reason why he would. So, yeah, I feel like that's the main thing. We've been recording for 50 minutes. Are you fucking kidding me? I mean, the audio recording has been going on for 50 minutes. I don't know for how long we've been doing this review, but it's like, whoa, that's a long one. Okay, sure. Oh my god, dude, like, having to record 2 different sessions, one, like, 8 hours apart from the previous one, when I have to talk about the stuff that I just saw, except that it didn't happen just now, but 8 hours ago, and I have terrible memory, it's like, Jesus, dude, like, come on. I think I did a pretty okay job of that review, by the way. Like, I feel like, given the circumstances, I think it was pretty okay. Again, I just want to say, like, I'm sorry for that power outage that kind of ruined this whole thing, the whole flow of the video. Maybe you guys won't feel it too much, because maybe I'll just, like, cut the entire first review and I'll just do this one instead, because I talked for like 10 minutes and then it just died, and then I talked after the power died for like a while, just to say shit, but it's like, nah, no, whatever. Yeah, this might happen again in the near future because of the city I live in, the town I live in. This is what it does. This is what happens every time in summer. So I'm sorry about that. But I'll see what I can do. All right, I think we're done. Yeah. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching this reaction to Dark. If you would like to see next one, is already up on Patreon as well as full length. Check out the links in the description. Gaming channel, like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, sure. See you next time. Okay. Take care.